Matt, sometimes in MMA, there's iconic nicknames that just burn themselves in your memory. I'm thinking like Chuck the Iceman Liddell. I'm thinking, what?
The Korean Zombie.
The Korean Zombie. And then there's Ben Sosoli with the Combat Wombat, and I will never forget that. It is a very cute and cuddly nickname for a guy who has a lovely mullet. And in this fight, he's going to be taking on Marcus Pezão Rogerio de Lima, and this is a guy that we haven't seen in a minute, really. I mean, his last fight was against Stefan Struve, and he lost that one by submission to the Skyscraper, another great nickname. In this one, though, it's one of those fights that I see pretty clear and cut and dry. Ben Sosoli in his last two fights, he had the no contest over on Contender Series, gets into the UFC, and he takes on Greg Hardy. Greg Hardy poured on the pressure in that fight, fought one of the more cerebral Greg Hardy fights, surprisingly, until he needed the inhaler, and then he got the win, and it's considered a no contest. So Ben Sosoli, 2 no contests in his last 2 fights. Across the cage from him, a guy, and listen, they talked about it on the broadcast last week, that Devin Clark has thighs like tree trunks. Get a look at Marcus Rogerio de Lima's legs. This is a guy that generates incredible power, mainly from his lower body, even with his strikes in the upper body. It's almost like a baseball player that knows how to hit a ball very well. That's how Marcus Rogerio de Lima generates his power. The odds, de Lima minus 150 favorite to Ben Sosoli at plus 125. The votes on Tapology out of 547 votes, 69% going with Marcus Rogerio de Lima, 54% picking him by decision. I haven't left you a lot of time, but what do you think of this fight? Because it is a really good fight.
It is a really good fight, but I see it the same way you do. I don't see a situation where Marcus Rogerio de Lima doesn't win this fight. I just feel he has such a big speed advantage in this fight, and Ben Sosoli is going to be quite a bit bigger than him, but Ben Sosoli doesn't really have the skills to take advantage of that. He's not a big wrestler. He's going to stand and strike, and if you're standing and strike with Marcus Rogerio de Lima, I know he lost the Stefan Struve fight. He also dropped Struve with the first punch he threw in that fight, and just the accumulation of not only leg kicks, but then the power shots up top, I feel like eventually it's going to get to Ben Sosoli, and I'm picking Marcus Rogerio de Lima by stoppage as well. I'm that confident in this pick.
Marcus Rogerio de Lima is like a bizarro Justin Ledet, because he moved from 205 to 265 and still had the power and strength advantage that you don't typically see in a lot of guys. So I'm going to agree with you. I'm taking Marcus Rogerio de Lima, but I'm really excited for this fight because it could produce fireworks, and you never know what you could get. Ben Sosoli could knock him out for you know, probably what it's worth. But you're not going to want to miss our UFC Auckland predictions for the main event, the main card, the prelims. With Fight Night Picks, we always say, let's get into it.